I'm holding my desires, my heart overflows. The only direction that I'll ever need is a deeper connection that's leading me. And I'm lost in your love when you hold me. Just hold me, 'cause I don't wanna run from your heartbeat, no, 'cause I'm lost in your love. I can't break the fall, you're taking it all. I'm lost in your love. I'm lost in your love. I'm lost in your love. No words can change the future of us. The waves, they break, but we are enough. The only direction that I'll ever need is a deeper connection that's leading me. And I'm lost in your love when you hold me. Just hold me, 'cause I don't wanna run from your heartbeat, no, 'cause I'm lost in your love. I can't break the fall, you're taking it all. I'm lost in your love. I'm lost in your love. I'm lost in your love.
Separated through the miles, searching for the answer to our trials. We came so far through our weakness. We found a love, even the stars between us won't marry us. One day we can be together in this moment.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Experts of Racing SportsCast here live from Discord, I guess we would say, but I still got to work out that intro. 5 episodes in, still hasn't worked out. But right now, in the booth, I know it says Vols fan. Unfortunately, he couldn't join us this evening, but still, we have the regular cast of Crew Chief Robert Harding, and joining us, our football analyst for a lot of stuff, and he's going to be joining us for the Super Bowl watch party this Sunday. Hokie fan Hoffman, he is also in the booth with us as well as special guest Drew Jua. He's going to be joining us later in the podcast as well. So a large amount of topics to talk about, and a great interview to end it today. Gonna go into I know we're gonna speed through this intro a little bit, but going into the first topic, it's gonna be the Royal Rumble review, talking about the winners from that and what could go forward. Of course, we're not going to get deep into the discussion with Vols not here. That's probably going to be something we're looking at next week. However, looking at the winners, it was actually the Rated R Superstar Edge who won the men's Royal Rumble. playing along with the storyline after coming off a broken neck that took him out for 9 years. He comes back, wins the Royal Rumble, and he's going to move on to headline WrestleMania. Still a lot of question marks around who he's going to end up challenging, but of course that's going to be something to discuss down the road. And then Bianca Belair, who is expected to stay on SmackDown Challenge for the SmackDown Women's Championship, she won the Women's Royal Rumble. So a lot of big news surrounding that. Still a lot of question marks on what they're going to do as far as creative. Number of people have noted that Triple H may be going over to run SmackDown creative as well as NXT. So a lot of big questions that are still yet to be answered. But of course, like I said, next week we'll get into that. Just going to go ahead and go over the winners from last night. Luckily enough, Drew McIntyre was able to retain, because if he lost, I think that would not have that would have ended up being a riot. But otherwise, we're going to move on to our next topic, in which the rest of the guys can finally join us in on, and that is going to be the Super Bowl outlook. We talked a little bit about it in our conference title review last week, but this week we're going to look at the outlook. Of course, we're not going to go in depth on this as well due to the watch party we're going to have. Of course, we're going to have the pre-show to that. But right now, talking with both guys that are going to be joining us this Sunday in the watch party, Robert Harding and Ethan Hoffman. Right now, Bucks by 3. Voles is already in chat saying Bucks by 3. Jesus Christ. And he's still on the Tom Brady train. All right. Robert, I'm just not even going to talk about it. I'm going to go ahead and send it. Chiefs, Bucks, what's your outlook for the game, and overall, who do you see coming out on top and why?
I see Buccaneers contending with it the first.
Give me one. I know I messed up. Okay, hold on. We're working on it. We are working on it.
Just ruined everything.
Okay, well, now it's fixed. Okay, Jesus. All right, now go ahead.
Okay, I see it being a great game in the first half, but after the first half, I sort of like the national championship game. Actually, I know this is NFL, but it's the last thing that I've watched according to football. I've been really busy, but anyway, I see the Chiefs in the final half pulling away by, my guess is 2 scores, 2 touchdowns, maybe a field goal in there. And the reason I see that is just, you look at the lineup of the Buccaneers, a lot of their guys are a little bit older, and Chiefs are a young team, and they've been here the past 2 years. They were here last year, and they're here this year. They've been on fire this whole season. They have 1 loss against the Raiders, right? Yeah, the Raiders, which we won't talk about that. That was a bad day. But I just see the Buccaneers tiring out and the Chiefs offense kind of pulling them through the gates.
Let me real quick. All right. And now, Ethan Hoffman, you're going to be joining us as well. You joined us for the college football playoff game. Now you're going to be joining us for the Super Bowl. What's your outlook for that as well?
The last time these teams played, they played week 8 or 9. It was kind of later in the season. The Chiefs, they had a field day. Tyreek Hill had like 200 receiving yards in the first quarter. Like, he killed that whole defense. I'm gonna say Chiefs by score, maybe 2. I think the Bucks will somewhat catch up. That run game is pretty good. The Chiefs' defense has been lacking a little bit this year, but Brady hasn't been good this year. I think that's he's not been good this year. Against the Packers, he scored 3 touchdowns, but also threw 3 interceptions late in the game that could have put the Packers back in. They didn't. They didn't win because their coaches are not the best. But Brady almost won that game for the Packers. I think Mahomes pulls it out back to back.
I can't. I'm looking at the comment section right now. Maddie and Voles are ganging up on me in chat. About a majority. I'm looking
Well,
at.
that's what happens when you say stuff dumb on the last podcast.
Well,
They continue that you are dumb.
it's not dumb to say that he is not the GOAT.
Wait a minute. Hold on here.
Oh, here we go. He's in chat now.
You got me stirred up now. First off, I hear all you fuckers saying Chiefs by 7, Chiefs by 10.
Here we go.
Tom Brady's about to slap. All right, let's all be real here.
Be quiet, Terry.
Wait, hold on. Slap everybody in the retirement home. Get them off the field. Damn.
All of them. He's already retired. Drew Brees. He retired. He retired Aaron Rodgers.
If he got hit,
last snaps as a Packer.
If he got hit the amount of times as Drew Brees or Aaron Rodgers did, I mean, if he didn't have the weapons, if Aaron had the weapons Brady has, he wouldn't be in the spot that he's in right now.
Shut up about weapons.
If Drew had the O-line protection of Tom Brady, maybe he could have the longevity of Brady. That's all I'm saying.
Cry me a river.
I'm just saying, you're calling him the GOAT, not realizing what
he is the GOAT. He is the GOAT. How is he not the GOAT? 10 Super Bowls, and he's won 6 of them.
Okay, and
let's quarterback stat.
Thank
and
you.
He's about to win 7. He's about to win 7. Number 7. He's going to be tied with Jimmy Johnson for 7 championships. And then let's add another person over there. Who else has won 7 titles?
I can't wait till Mahomes runs through him.
Teddy.
I can't wait till Mahomes runs through him.
One player doesn't win a Super Bowl.
Chiefs,
I tell you what. You're going to be doing the podcast,
Chiefs
and when
14.
it's fourth quarter and there's 2 minutes to go in the game, I'm magically going to pop back up and
Chiefs
go, hey,
14.
who's about to hoist the Lombardi Trophy? Because it's going to be Tom
Chiefs
Brady.
14.
Shut up.
When are you actually
heading back on that? Do we want to put a bet on this? Do you want to bet? Do you want to put a bet on this? Because we're live. People are watching. What bet do you want? What bet do you want to throw on it? Because Tom Brady isn't getting beat by 14.
Name it, and if I can afford it, I will.
All right. I tell you what. If Tom Brady and the Bucks win on the next week's show, you have to say that Tom Brady is the GOAT and that you're dumb for making the comment that Ty Dillon's better than Austin Dillon. Okay.
Second, that's not a bad claim.
If Kansas City wins, I'll come on here and say, you know what? Yeah, sure. I'll agree with you on Ty Dillon. And you know what? I'll even agree with you that Tom Brady's not the GOAT.
Okay. All right. I'll clip that after this show. That'll be the deal.
Go ahead. I'm going to spend time with my wife. But Bucks by 3. Tom Brady's the GOAT. Big D Tom's about to slap him.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I just want to point out, if the Bucks do win, it won't be because of Brady's performance. The last time these two played, Brady threw 2 interceptions and 3 touchdowns.
Well, dang. All right. Well, of course, we had Vols input, and he was able to pull in here. Now, I think, right now, Hoffman, just going over, I know you went over, what are going to be some of the weaknesses on both sides? I know you just named one of them. But what's going to be the winning factors and losing factors for each of these teams?
That Bucks defense, they stopped a lot of people, but neither of these two defenses are rather strong. The Bucks, they have a lot better defense than what the Chiefs do, but even overall, they're still not, that great. Jason Pierre-Paul, he's not awful. Their safeties got scorched against Patrick Mahomes last time they played, which was like week 12. You also got to look at Brady, though. Brady has thrown a lot of picks this year. Like, he threw 3 last week, like 2 against the Saints, I think, and 1 against Washington. He's thrown a lot of interceptions this year. And even against the Chiefs, he threw 2 interceptions to a team that aren't that good on defense.
Looking onward, I mean, Robert, what's your opinion? What do you think is going to be the winning or losing factors for each one of these teams?
Oh well, it's definitely not going to be either of their defenses. Like Ethan said, or Hokie fan, whatever you want to call him. I call him Ethan because well, me. But I don't think it'll be either of their defenses. But I think that the Chiefs' offense will pull out more and more points on the board. Both their defenses aren't the best. They're not a Rams 2017, I think, defense. I think it was 17 when they played against the Patriots in the Super Bowl. But I think just the Chiefs' offense, surely you have Tyreek Hill, Patrick Mahomes, obviously, as the quarterback, and then Travis Kelce. They're going to be throwing touchdowns to them left and right, and Chiefs' running game isn't that strong. But that throwing that Patrick Mahomes has, I'd say it's going to be the winning factor for this Super Bowl.
Okay, I know a big question that's been circulating around as well is the power change that is going on in the NFL. Well, a one that I think is going to set up a lot of moves and set the price for a lot of different guys in this offseason is our next topic. Stafford and Goff both just got traded, and a lot of people are saying Stafford got overpaid for. I believe it was Stafford got traded straight up for Goff, a 2022 first round, a 2023 first round, and a this year's third round pick. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Ethan,
That is correct.
Ethan, what's your outlook on this? A major power shift just happened in the NFL. A lot of people are saying that the Rams now look like a playoff team, or a deep run playoff team, shall I say?
People are saying that the Rams got fleeced. I don't think so. I think you got to take into account what those picks are. What can they get from those picks? That's the main thing. Because Jared Goff is not good. I don't know. He might have been good a year, two maybe, but right now he is not a better quarterback than what Matthew Stafford is. With those first round picks, that's going to be a late pick. Rams are in win now mode. Rams aren't going to go 3-12 or 3-13, 3-14 if they had the 17 games. They kind of been flip floppy on that. But Rams are in win now mode. They're not going to be like the Texans where they were in win now mode, then they traded all their pieces away and then sucked. That's not going to happen. They're either going to be in the Super Bowl or close to the Super Bowl. So with that first round pick, what are you really gaining? A late first round guy isn't going to change what a franchise quarterback would do, like Matthew Stafford. Maybe that 2023 pick might be different. Maybe Stafford does fall off after that year. Maybe they find out how he works in that system. But overall, I can't see any way the Lions win that trade.
Well, I mean, you got to look at possibly what is going to be the biggest problem for the Rams going forward. I mean, they've been trying to build their offense. You also got to look at they have a very aging defense, and a lot of notable defensive guys have gone later in the first round. Do you think that'll hurt them? Maybe in their 2023 or 2024 runs after that point?
I think by the time they get to 2023, 2024, they might not be worried. It might be a problem in the future, but who's to say that they couldn't draft another quarterback in 2023, 2024 after, say, Stafford leaves or that defense guys. Rams aren't McVay and his outlook right now isn't past 2022. That's like the bridge cut off right there. 2023 they are probably going to be, iffy. But I don't know. That defense is still number one ranked this year out of all the defenses in the league.
Robert, big question to you though. In your opinion, did the Rams overcompensate to get Stafford?
No. I mean, to me, go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, just simple as that. No.
No, I guarantee you that they would know if they overcompensated. I'm good at English. To get that quarterback, Goff needed to go. Like, there's no other way to say it. He needed to go. But I don't. I don't know what your look at now is for the Lions now. They don't have Stafford now. It's going to be Goff, of course. So it's going to be iffy, but I do not think it's never even crossed my mind that the Rams paid too much or overcompensated for Stafford. Like, that's one of the dumbest things that I've seen on Twitter all week. So,
Well, I mean, I know a big question. I don't think, I mean, everybody's sleeping on what Goff could possibly do, understanding that he's coming off of, that thumb surgery this past year and was still able to ball out a little bit in the playoffs, and then turns around and now he's heading to Detroit. I think he's going to be a bridgeway quarterback either way, though. Looking at where they're positioned in the draft, I don't think offense is going to be their concern, even though it should be. Um, they may draft a receiver, or in my opinion, their best bet is to try to build up that defense. We saw it last year with Jeff Okudah being brought in, but I think the defense is going to be the main concern for the Lions either way. To allow them time, I'd rather have a veteran defense than a veteran offense and a young defense, vice versa. So build up that defense first, and then focus on getting some offensive guys afterwards. But we'll see how that continues down the road. Now moving on into our going for 2 segment, and this is probably the biggest news for us all being gamers. EA Sports has announced that the college football franchise is returning. Just to say that's big news, I think, is an understatement. I mean, Ethan, you were big on the announcement this past week. Go ahead. I mean, I'm gonna let you hit at this first, but go ahead and give us both as your analyst perspective and your fan of the franchise perspective.
About 2 to 3 years ago, right when I really started to get into football, start watching it, what got me into it was Flemro Raps' NCAA series, his Dynasty series. And when I found out they didn't make new games, I was so angry. Because, I don't understand how the only reason they couldn't do this was because of, players getting played. But I don't feel like waiting so long to put out one of these games is not worth just putting randomly generated players in. EA Sports makes so much money purely off of Madden Ultimate Team that they could make 3 college games a year. They are so rich. It wasn't problems. Oh, they couldn't buy licenses for these colleges. They have so much money just from a single thing in Madden. This was an issue, I think, and the way they're doing it, not having to go through the NCAA, might be a good idea, to maybe actually have the game, but yeah.
Now moving to Robert, I know that you being a gamer, how big is this as far as the gaming community goes? A lot of people have been striving to get this game back into the forefront, but now that it is, what's your outlook as far as, how big is this game going to actually be when it's all said and done?
In the gaming community and in the football gaming community, it's going to be huge. But the thing that I look at right now more than ever is Madden has so much wrong with it. Like, I played Madden 20 today. I don't have 21 yet, but Madden 20 and 21 has so much wrong with it. Like, you can be on the run and throw dimes that make no sense. There's crazy physics in it. The tackling animations are the same over and over again. So, and it wasn't like that in the past, like Madden 08 and stuff like that. It wasn't like that. why are they spending millions of dollars to make a new game? And yes, it was very hyped up and stuff. When they can fix their current game and make it literally the best. It's the only football game out there right now, I believe. But the best one ever. But now they're spending a ton of money on a half-ass college football game that doesn't even have college rosters in it.
I mean,
And randomly generated players.
to be fair, that's how it was years prior. Even that, like, I mean that
online servers are a thing.
Yeah, I mean you could import those rosters, but the difference between, I mean, the thing with that is that it brings up a whole nother issue of what they can and cannot do is the question after that point.
And yeah, and like they're gonna basically, the way I see it is they could be spending this money in the right places with the Madden 21, Madden 22 games, stuff like that, making those games a whole hell of a lot better than they are. But no, they got to go out and make a whole other half-assed football game, and it honestly pisses me off more than I'm excited for having a college football game, because it's just it's to me it's just not going to be worth the big hype. It's everyone's going to switch back over to Madden 21 within a month. Same thing as every other game that comes out.
To be fair,
they're working on the game for like 3 years.
I'm going to be I'm going to be arguing with you on this. This is going to be my outlook on it. Okay, we say this, and you're saying that or whatnot. You realize there's a reason people are making mods on Madden for these college football games. There's a reason people were doing that, and there's a reason that this game is going to be, in my opinion, probably the most popular game that EA has shelled out in freaking years. This game is going to be so highly priced because of the demand that the last NCAA game, I think the cheapest you could probably get it on freaking Amazon was near $100. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ethan, because I know you were big on trying to find one. Was it not near around $100 at one point just to get the last NCAA game?
If a used version on like eBay would go for like 140.
Yeah, so I mean the popularity.
Yeah, but also people thought that there wasn't going to be any other NCAA games.
I mean,
it was fair to price it that high. Now it's not.
There's no guarantee that there will ever be one after this again, though, because they're talking about bringing the franchise back one time only. I mean, there's no defined answer on if this is going to be a yearly thing like Madden. They don't have a partnership or designated contracts with all these schools for yearly things. I don't even think they have the contract set up yet with these schools. They just announced that, hey, we're going to try to bring this back. So, I mean, there's no guarantee it'll even happen yet. And I think that's going to drive the popularity up even more if it does actually happen.
Well, that just further enforces my point of it's a half-assed game. They're releasing this with a ton of what-ifs. And you look on console and stuff like that, it might release on a next gen. I'm not sure. It probably would. But you look at that and, like, in the past, mods haven't been so good to download on console, like, almost to where you can't. So,
Hoffman, I'm going to send it over to you real quick because I know you're holding on.
Yeah. So they do have partnerships with school. They're schools. They're is in the ESPN article. They're working with the CLC, and the CLC has deals with like all of the like main FBS schools, main Power 5 schools. They're trying to work out deals with different FCS or like independent, like say like Liberty or Liberty people like that. They're trying to work out with people like that, and also saying it's going to be like they're releasing with what ifs. The game isn't coming out until 2023. They confirmed that. They said 2022, 2023. Around there. So it's like they're releasing it right now, at their development for like 3 weeks. And I think they've been working on this for a long time. Ever since like the NCAA games did get canceled, like they've been working on an NCAA game for a long time now. So this is what, over 10 years plus going into this game. It's not going to be like Madden, which is coded in like a couple weeks.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of factors being thrown into it. Of course, we will be following that as that moves along. And looking at all the updates that come along with it. Definitely, I know I'm excited for it. I know Hoffman's excited for it. Robert is iffy, and that is understandable. But you know, we'll follow it as it continues and develops. But with that being said, right now we have hit a caution, and we're going to take ourselves a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with more coverage here on the Experts of Racing Sportscast. Don't go anywhere.
I'm hopeless in the crossfire. There's nowhere to go. I'm holding my desires. My heart overflows. The only direction that I'll ever need is a deeper connection that's leading me. And I'm lost in your love when you hold me. Just hold me, 'cause I don't wanna run from your heartbeat. Your heartbeat, no, 'cause I'm lost in your love. I can't break the fall, you're taking it all. I'm lost in your love. I'm lost in your love. I'm lost in your love. I'm lost in your I'm lost in your love. No words can change the future of us. The waves they
And guys, it's showtime! Boogity, boogity, boogity! Let's go racing today, boys! Watson takes a snap, rolls right, looks into the end zone. Hunter up the caught it! Touchdown! Touchdown! Welcome to WrestleMania!
It's now my honor to announce that the first ever virtual NFL draft is officially open.
Blitz coming. Mariota throws in the end zone. Man is there. Touchdown, Titans!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us back here live on the Experts of Racing Sportscast. Right now, we're going to be getting into NASCAR racing returns. Speed Week start this upcoming week, and then, of course, the famous Daytona 500. And, of course, now joining us is going to be our guest that we're going to be interviewing later, Drew Jua. He said he wanted to hop in here on this topic as well, so we're going to allow him to do that. But, of course, NASCAR racing returning this week. And looking at the overall schedule, we looked at the odds that got released last week. And now looking at the overall Speed Week schedule, there is right there Thank you to Daytona International Speedway for that schedule, and of course allowing us to put that on here as well. But the Busch Clash, February 9th. I'm not even sure. Are they actually going to do 500 qualifying? I know that's been a big question.
Yeah, they are.
They are? Okay.
That's already been confirmed.
Okay. I wasn't sure about it. I tried finding if it was confirmed or not, but I didn't want to say it was without like having it fully known or whatnot. But February 10th, Daytona 500 qualifying. The 11th is the duels to set up the lineup for the 500. February 12th is the Truck Series race. 13th is 13th, I believe, is the ARCA Series race. And then the 13th is the Xfinity Series race as well. And then, of course, on the 14th is the Daytona 500. So a lot of racing going on this week. And right now, just looking at this here, guys, just going over all this, who is your winners in each one of these races? I'm going to start off with Hoffman.
So with the clashes on the road course, I'm probably going to give the Chase. You know, he dominated there last season when they raced there. You know, he's a good road course guy. What's it? Qualifying? I could see the pole given to I could see Bubba winning the pole. I don't know. I just got a weird feeling that he's going to win pole. You know, pole winner is normally for the 500 is normally the driver that has the biggest storyline. I saw some people saying it would be Larson, but I don't know if that'd be a good storyline if it would be Larson. Duels, I'm just gonna throw it out there Logano, Hamlin. I don't know. They might be the same duel. Who knows? They're normally pretty good to play tracks. ARCA, I got no idea who's running ARCA, so I'll just say Ty Gibbs. I don't know if he's running. He is.
Said, yeah, he is.
I got no clue who's running ARCA. Trucks, I'm gonna be honest with you. Trucks, I honestly have no clue. So I'll just throw out Enfinger was good there last year.
Is Enfinger,
Xfinity.
Hold on, is Enfinger running Daytona? Because I know he's running the part-time schedule. Is it Enfinger or Eckes? I don't know.
I think it would likely be Enfinger.
Hopefully it's Enfinger. Hopefully. I think it's going to be him as well, but I wasn't sure since they announced he's going to be part-time.
So Xfinity, I could see Justin Haley winning, or even Jeb Burton. I'd like to see Jeb Burton, fellow Hokie fan. Then for the 500, this is right.
He's torn apart right now.
I want to say Hamlin because he's just so good at moving around in the draft and understanding how it is. But I can't see him winning 3 in a row. I'm gonna give it to Blaney. Blaney's probably up there.
Oh, he gives it to Ryan Blaney. Well, Bob Pockras said that was his second favorite to win it. So you and Bob are both pretty high on Blaney. Now moving on to Robert. Who's your winners for this whole weekend?
Busch Clash. To me, you're honestly crazy if you don't go with Chase Elliott. He is going to be fast. Daytona road course, which still doesn't make sense. We're going to have 23 guys racing on a road course, and it's going to be the most boring race ever. It's going to be more boring than the Clash was in 2018, and that was pretty bad.
It's going to be exciting for me.
You sure about that?
Yeah, because I'm a Chase Elliott fan.
Yeah, well.
All right.
500 qualifying. I see a Hendrick car getting it. I'd like to go with Bowman. I just think that car is going to be fast.
That's a good pick.
Duels, I think Logano and I think Blaney and Logano, they might be in the same duels. I don't know. That's a wild one. Trucks, which is on the 12th. I actually think that it could be John Anderson. He did really good last year. Showed
Jordan,
a lot of
You mean
Jordan Anderson.
Yeah.
I did not just say John Anderson.
Yeah. Robert threw himself under the bus right there. Robert English.
Yeah, it's about like me calling the national championship the state championship like six
All the
times
time.
in a row.
Yeah, in the whole time. If you wanted to go back and watch that was hilarious.
The state championship. Okay, so
Robert.
ARCA, I'm on Ethan's boat. I have no clue who's running, so let's just say Ty Gibbs. I don't really know who he is anyway. In Daytona for Xfinity, I look at a Austin Cindric or a AJ Allmendinger. Actually, I would lean more toward. Wait, why did I just say that? I was thinking before this. I was like, Justin Haley's probably going to win. So Justin Haley or a AJ Allmendinger, they're both really good plate racers. And then the 500, I'm going to stand by Kyle Busch. I think he's finally going to get it done.
Robert's still standing by Kyle Busch. Now we're going to move on to our guest today, Drew Jua. What's your outlook for this weekend with all these races?
All right, I'm going to give you a shocker for the Busch Clash. I'm going to go with Denny Hamlin. Hamlin, in the final few laps of the last season's Daytona Road Course race, he was catching him. I think off the final corner going towards the line, he was catching him. If he had maybe 2-3 more laps, he would have caught him. So I'm going to pick Hamlin. I think Hamlin's an upset here. Probably for the qualifying, probably Byron. Byron's very solid at plate track qualifying. He's always been up there along with Bowman and other Hendrick cars. I'm going to throw two randoms out for Daytona duels. I'm going to pick Ricky Stenhouse and Christopher Bell. No specific order, but those two. The truck's probably Ben Rhodes, if I had to guess. I don't know. He's been okay at play tracks. Hasn't been lucky, but been solid. I'm with Ethan here. I have no clue who runs ARCA. Probably the dude who recorded himself while he was going around the track.
I don't think
he's 15.
Yeah,
so.
He can't race there. He can only.
Oh, he
practice.
can't?
No, he can't.
Never mind.
He can practice, but he can't race.
No clue. I'm gonna give Noah Gragson back-to-back Daytona wins. I think he wins at Daytona again. And then for the Daytona 500, I'm gonna give it to Ross Chastain. I like him. He seems like he's finally got a good ride for himself. I feel like he's finally gonna be able to win races on the big level. So,
alrighty,
those are my picks.
Right here, I hope Terry's still out in chat to hear this one. All right, as a Chase Elliott fan, I think my pick for the Busch Clash should be obvious. It's not. I think all the way around, if the equipment in this car is as hyped up as it says it's going to be, I think Ty Dillon, who's driving for Bubba Wallace, could pull it off in the Busch Clash. He's one hell of a road course racer. If that equipment is as good as they say it is, by God, I think Ty Dillon can win the Busch Clash. Go ahead, say something, Robert. I know you want to.
Josh, I'm going to hang myself if you say Ty Dillon is remotely close to any of those drivers up front.
Oh yeah, I'm changing my answer. I got
Dillon again.
Oh my
I'm going
God.
to fucking hang myself.
Yeah, I'm changing my.
That's not no. Jesus Christ.
I'm changing
Robert.
my answer. I got Ty Dillon sweeping the whole weekend. He wins everything.
Oh my God.
Winning everything.
Everything.
Yep, I'm changing mine too. But I'm kidding.
I mean, I don't think that's that bad of a pick. You saw how he did at the Roval despite it being in rain, but Jesus Christ, I mean, give me something
He
to
had
hold
slicks
on to.
on when it was completely dry. That's the only reason he was going fast. He had slicks on at the right time.
Hey, he won the stage, so you can't. I mean, good for him.
He's not a bad driver, but he is not. Austin Dillon is yards ahead of him.
Over like how many seasons did he race with at the 13? He raced a lot of something like that.
Four.
He won multiple stages like off of pure speed. I mean,
off his strategy. Like he was like 3 stages. And
Okay.
Two of them all tires
all right, hold on.
There
It was on
people that could've taken
strategy.
away from him.
Hold on. It was on strategy. Are we going to forget? I think it was he beat out freaking Kevin Harvick on strategy. And
no, that's Boyer.
Boyer.
He door banged Boyer
I
for
knew,
the stage.
But Boyer couldn't pass him. That's the thing.
I mean, if
It was also in the shitty short track package.
You're going to sleep. Hold on. This is the same comment, and I want to hear Drew's reaction to this. Robert was the same person that said, or no, it was Bowles and Robert. Both said last week that Jermaine's equipment is the exact same equipment as RCR.
That's crazy. I
That's
do
not
not
true.
believe that. I think RCR's
I did not
equipment
say
is so much
exact
better.
same. I said very similar.
I think Jermaine's is not 2 times worse, but it's not anywhere near RCR. RCR has had better equipment than Jermaine for forever, I guess. I don't know how long Jermaine's been a team, but I just don't
long
think it's
time.
close.
Yeah.
They're no longer a team, so.
No
Exactly.
longer, but still. And, all right, looking over at qualifying, I think Alex Bowman in the 48, I think that's a solid pick. Hendrick engines have always done well as far as qualifying. I think he could be the guy that goes out there and gets the pole. When it comes to the duels, still rolling on the Hendrick train. I think Byron may go out there and do very well in the duels. I also think Christopher Bell, if they're in 2 separate duels, I think Christopher Bell could go out there and win himself a duel, set himself up on the front row. Looking at the trucks race, I'm not going to say who I want to say. Looking at the
Go ahead.
Nope.
It's Haley Deegan, isn't it?
Looking at the trucks race, I think Jordan Anderson might be good. Looking at the trucks race, I mean, she didn't do bad in her first ARCA start at Daytona. I mean, I think she'll do better than Decker did in her first Trucks Daytona start. So, I mean, you never know
Well,
with
she's
with how the
loads
trucks
better
is.
than Decker
I mean,
anyway. So.
yeah. So, I mean, you never
She'll have
know
a
with-
better race than
Dang.
Decker if she gets a lap 2.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna say is that I think Jordan Anderson wouldn't be a bad pick. I don't think Deegan's gonna win, but watch out for her to
Is
do
he
very
even
well.
running?
Anderson,
Jordan Anderson moved up to the.
He's in
thought
Xfinity.
he-
I don't know
I
if
thought
He's
he
he's
was
still
running-
part-time in trucks.
Yeah, I thought he was
He's
going to
gonna
run
run
part-time.
Daytona.
I thought he was going to run part-time in Daytona as well. That's what I heard. As
I
well.
think he's
Yeah.
running part-time in both because he still has his truck.
Yeah. Looking at the ARCA race kicking off the racing on the 13th, I agree with everybody else just as far as Ty Gibbs may do well. Well, I think returning Michael Wayne Self, I think he'll be a guy to look out for in the ARCA Menard series. Go ahead.
He retired.
He retired last year?
He retired.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he's done.
I'm late on
Who
ARCA
did?
news. Michael Wayne Self. I didn't know he retired, actually. But, okay, then Ty Gibbs is the number one guy.
I don't even think
there.
that's an actual person.
Michael Wayne Self?
You're mixing Austin Wayne Self
is.
and Michael Self.
Well, I mean, I thought it was Michael Wayne Self. Well, shoot.
There's a Michael Wayne Self.
Yeah.
It was Austin Wayne.
Speaking of Jordan Anderson, he's running full-time Xfinity, part-time in trucks.
Yeah. So, all right. Looking at February 13th, as far as everything goes, hate me if you must. Hate me if you must. But I really like the look of Daniel Hemrick possibly going out here and winning the Xfinity race. He moved over to Joe Gibbs Racing. I think he could be the guy that possibly goes out there and wins it. He has a competitive ride now. I mean, I think that's going to be a pretty good pick. And then looking at the 500, I'm not going to say who I want to say again. Looking at the 500, I'm going to go and say that. God, this is a mix-up for me. I think Chase Briscoe might shock the world. I think I'm going to pull for the underdog story and say Chase Briscoe wins in his first start with Stuart Haas racing in the Cup Series. I think that's going to be a good run for him, and I think Chase Briscoe might come out and shock the world. I mean, I know everybody's going to be smirking and being like, "Oh, Xperts lost his damn mind," but I mean, I think it might be a good pick. Go ahead and give me the hate on all my picks. I'm waiting for it.
Okay, so the Daniel Hemrick pick is actually not a bad pick. Like, Hemrick's a hell of a driver. He just has not had lady luck. The Chase Briscoe pick, he's a good driver, but he's never made a start in this package. This package is crazy at Daytona and Talladega. He's never made a start in Cup, period. Like, the draft in Xfinity at plate tracks compared to Cup is so much different. The runs are so much bigger. I feel like these new drivers coming in, they got to wreck a few times to realize actually how to work these plate tracks at Daytona and Talladega. A Trevor Baynes story, these cars are so much different, and I just don't see it happening. Yeah. No disrespect to Chase Briscoe. I think he's a great driver, but just these cars are so much different at plate tracks than in the Xfinity Series and even at all tracks. I do not see him getting a win at Daytona.
I think you have to realize that he has the whole entire weekend to fully experience how the cars drive. I feel like he and the other rookies that are coming up in the series will practice and practice and practice on simulators on the track, trying to understand how the draft works. I think they'll be ready. I think Chase Briscoe has a chance. I don't know. It's just the first, to pick it right now is pure luck, because first, we don't know if where they're starting. We don't know if they'll get into big crashes. So it's kind of hard right now to guess who's going to win. We can just go off the past years. And I'm not saying Chase Briscoe was a bad pick, but I wouldn't have picked him to win just because we haven't really seen anything from him from play tracks besides Talladega last season in Xfinity.
With what Drew said, yes, they're going to have practice and even on the simulators, but all these guys, you have Logano. I don't care how much everyone hates Logano. He's a hell of a plate racer. Brad Keselowski, Brian Blaney. And all the races leading up to the 500 are done in 20-car fields. He's going to have qualifying in that to deal with. He doesn't race the Busch Clash because he didn't compete last year. So I feel like the duels are going to be the same story where they single out on the top. I just don't see a rookie getting the win in this race, which I could be wrong, but it's just highly unlikely to me.
All right. Well, now moving on, Robert, are you ready to be gone in 60 seconds? Mm-hmm.
I don't really want to. Yeah, let's go. I was a little scared that you were going to just kill me, and I was like, damn. Or take me off the show and be like, just exit out the crew chief Robert Harding logo. And I was like, damn.
Just gone.
But I didn't know he was so butthurt about Tom Brady.
I'm done. I'm not going over it again. I'm done. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it on Sunday night. Nope, we're not doing it anymore. All right, Robert, you got a list of 5, you don't have a list of 5 questions. I have a list of 5 questions. Of course, you have 60 seconds to answer each one of these questions, and yeah, you know how the drill goes. It's been going on every week now. Starting off with the old first question. Hendrick Motorsports officially signs 2 sponsors for Kyle Larson's return to NASCAR. With this being earlier than a lot of people expected, do you think that 5 car will run any better now with these 2 sponsors than they did previously with just being backed by Rick Hendrick himself?
No. I know the things that I've said and stuff where that car, no one wants to sponsor it and stuff. I think a lot of that is true. These are already existing Hendrick Motorsports sponsors. So they were going to be on the car, somewhere on that car no matter what, in the little logos thing. But Kyle Larson is going to be up front either way. I don't see him going out and dominating these races first off and stuff. But this package I don't think really speaks to the way he drives. He's a lot of guy on the gas, sideways all the time, ripping the top and being faster than everyone in speed. Now a lot of it's draft and stuff, but one of the things that I've seen where, I think Kyle Larson's going to run better and stuff, no, he's going to run the same, good or bad. It just depends on how everything goes.
I gotcha. You went a little bit over there, almost got it, but still. Going back to it here, Ty Dillon. Ty Dillon and Gaunt Brothers, they're going to be teaming up for Daytona. He's going to be heading and racing in the Daytona 500. what is your opinion? Oh God, I'm already feeling bad about asking this one. What is your opinion on Ty Dillon getting this ride and his possible chances at going out there in the Daytona 500?
Like Ty Dillon definitely deserves this ride. Even though all the shit that we've talked to each other over Ty, you thinking that Ty Dillon is better than Austin Dillon, whatever. But Ty Dillon is a fairly okay driver. He is not anywhere near the best. That is why he's in this 96 car. But I think it's his shot to step back and take a look at what else is going to go on and stuff. So this Gaunt Brothers car is not going to be very fast. It's not like Daniel Suarez where he was bringing a ton of money in. It is that base Gaunt Brothers 96 car again. There's not going to be help from anyone. So he's going to run probably somewhere mid-pack, but he is a pretty good plate racer. So I could see him maybe showing up toward the middle of the race, but a lot of times, a lot of drivers do get caught up in that, mid-race wreck and into the race wreck. So he'll do okay.
Alrighty, moving on to this third one. This has been becoming more prominent. Drivers going back and forth between different styles of racing and stuff like that. Recently, the Rolex 24 happened, in which Jimmy Johnson and his Cadillac team ended up finishing second, and also Chase Elliott and his team ended up notching the pole before the event. How do you think this affects drivers? Do you think this is good for the sport to see drivers reaching out into different styles of racing, like, of course, NASCAR drivers going into the Rolex, or we've seen them go into IndyCar, try to compete in Indy as well, and vice versa. What do you think as far as the sport, once again, like extending out, and do you think this is something that can be expanded more and more as motorsports and in general try to combine?
It is being expanded more and more there's an IndyCar guy, don't remember what his name is, coming over racing Xfinity part-time. So this is a great thing for these drivers. They're like Chase Elliott, similar to what he said, is I'm widening my skill set. And that is what he's doing, he's being able to drive these other cars and stuff like that and get a knowledge for other forms in racing. He's racing dirt, everything like that. So I think we start to see more drivers dipping into some stuff that they have never touched before and trying to become better drivers. You have to be the competition to beat the competition. That's a similar thing to what I would say. You have to know everything about racing, and I think dipping your toes into other forms of racing and getting the road course, the dirt, the late model asphalt knowledge is a great thing.
All right, and of course, all the Florida tracks as well as Atlanta have deemed limited fans compared to last year when sometimes there were no fans allowed whatsoever. What do you think as far as how could this hurt? How this could possibly end up hurting tracks and teams and all that financially? What do you think? Do you think it'll hurt it enough by the time we are allowing fans full time back at the track, or do you think that this is something that these tracks can, of course, power through and that NASCAR will help them get through later on, of course, with them being major landmarks on the schedule?
I don't believe so. Half of these tracks are owned by a company that is owned by NASCAR. So we look at, yes, it's going to hurt a lot of these, like some of their attendance money, but they're still getting money from sponsorships. They're getting still money from TV time, everything like that. They are not getting in here and just hosting an event where everyone is using their stuff and not getting paid for it. That's not how the world works by the time you don't have the time rope. But and yeah, if we were racing short tracks that weren't owned by the big company, I think it's Speedway Corp or something like that, then they might have a problem with it. But now, to me, just I don't think that it's going to be a big, huge thing for these tracks. They're still going to be at Atlanta. They're still going to be at Daytona next year. This is not going to hurt them at all.
All right, and final question. This one's kind of just a fun one. Daytona and the track president announced Luke Combs going to be the pre-race concert. If you're at the track, what is the opening song you want to hear Luke Combs play? What's your favorite?
Oh, man. I was not expecting this. Oh, gosh. This is a lot of songs. Damn. You're going to have to give me a minute.
I threw you a curveball on that one, didn't I?
Yeah. Woo. Oh, shit. I really, really, really want to say even though I'm leaving, but I like Houston, We Got a Problem. I think it's just such a head knocker song that all the race fans can get up to, and I can as well. So definitely that one. I think it's
knowing you and knowing the Daytona environment, I'm surprised you didn't say Beer Never Broke My Heart. I was actually okay.
That's a Talladega song, man. That's Talladega Boulevard all the way,
my
friend.
Jesus Christ. Well, either way, excited for that pre-race concert. I know they're probably going to show it on the pre-race show like they did Darius Rucker. But I mean, I'm excited for it as well. But now to the man of the podcast. He's getting brought on, Mr. Drew Jua, 2020 OMA champion. He's been to the Final Four 3 times, and he has 14 total career wins in OMA, 12 coming alone in the top series of the Cup Series, 2 being in the endurance challenges. Drew Jua joining us here today. How are you doing, man?
So I'm pretty good. How about you, bro?
I'm all right. Thank you for definitely joining us as well. You're coming. Oh, no problem at all. You're coming into 2021 now, coming off a championship year. It took you 3 years. Actually, took you longer than that as far as VRC time, but took you 3 Final Four attempts to finally notch that championship victory. How was it last year, racing the retiring Tyler McDonald, for you to finally notch that playoff victory and be like, okay, I finally got it?
It was stressful. I had like a huge lead going into points. Not even just over basically everybody. And then slowly but surely, like every single race, Tyler would get a little points on me, and then I'd make it even and get a little points on me, and then we'd stay like the same. He would slowly just nick at my lead because we both ran into a lot of trouble during the playoffs. I don't think before Phoenix, the last race, I won a race in the playoffs. I'm not sure, but yeah, I just wasn't lucky.
Yeah, and in this year's format, it was pointed out a lot last year that if we were running in this year's format, that there was a chance that you could have been eliminated in the first round. Does that stress you out, even though we're in the beginning of this year, with the amount of competition that was added to the VRC Cup Series? Does that stress you out at all heading into this year's playoffs?
I wouldn't say it would stress me out. I mean, it's a different format. We've had different format almost every single year, so it's just going to be getting used to the new format. I think we should be fine unless we get wrecked like we did last playoffs. But I think I should be fine. I think I can make the 4th consecutive Final Four in a row. So
Definitely. A lot of people have you as a favorite to possibly win the title. Another favorite that is pretty much neck and neck with you is your eSpark League team owner, and is also a rookie in the Cup Series this year, driving the number 22 for McGuinness Motorsports, Tim Moore. How is that relationship with him being your team owner in eSpark and then coming here and probably being your toughest competition for the championship this year? I mean, we've seen you work together a lot, but on track, I mean, what is that relationship like compared to off track?
I think we both have the same mutual respect for each other, where we can battle each other cleanly and not get into each other, and both race each other with, how do I say this, fun. We can both have fun when we race each other. I think that's the biggest thing about league racing is it's not about winning every single race. You have to have fun sometimes, you know. Like this is like a Saturday league where you can just, you know, race with friends. I don't know. Yes, there's a lot of competition in it, but I think sometimes you have to put aside all the competition and realize that you're racing. So, that you're racing with friends. So,
definitely. And talking about a lot of the achievements you had last year, to add to that, you're part of the OMA team that went on to I'd say be one of the final four leagues in the community tournament that happened last year. How did it feel to be, I'd say, probably one of the leading forces in what allowed OMA to be in the Final Four, and what pride does that bring to you as far as the league? I mean, you're a league admin as well, so I mean, how much pride does that give you knowing that OMA is considered one of the best leagues in the Xbox community?
it gives. I feel like it gives everybody who participated in it a lot of confidence that shows that even though we are kind of just like built off of like we're like kind of separated from some of the leagues like eSpark, SSRL, leagues like those. They're all in that little category. Like I feel like leagues are in different places, and I feel like we've branched off from everything, and it shows that we can actually put up good performances and race well against other leagues. So I don't know, it gives everybody who raced in that event a lot of confidence, showing that yeah, we are as fast as other leagues. So yeah.
All right, and we've been talking a lot about league racing. A lot of things that we like to talk about with guys that come from league racing and come here on the podcast. What got you exactly into racing, as far as either a fan or a league racer, or all the way around? What brought you into the world of motorsports and motorsport esports?
We were me and my family went to Disney one year, and we were walking around, and I hadn't really watched NASCAR and stuff like that, and we were walking and we saw this old Madagascar Jimmy Johnson paint scheme. I don't know which year it was because, you know, but that is the exact moment that like I fell in love with NASCAR. That's the reason I started liking Jimmy Johnson. I that's exactly when I started enjoying NASCAR. I had a PS2 which I played old NASCAR games on. That's when I really started, you know, racing almost all the time. So, yeah.
Definitely. And looking at, I mean, you've been known as the guy that's always in everybody's rear view, and then just like being that guy that leads and blows competition out of the water. If they see you coming up behind them, they know they're either about to get passed in a dominant fashion, or they're about to have a handful on their hands, because you'll give them trouble trying to race these guys all the time just because of how good you are. And everybody knows you from that infamous #1 Monster Energy Chevrolet for Team Drew. I mean, carrying it over into the real side of NASCAR and stuff like that. Is Kurt Busch your favorite driver? Or what is your favorite driver and why?
Um, like I said, so right now I'm in like a little turning point. Like I like Kurt Busch. I think he's a pretty cool dude. But I like Jimmy Johnson ever since that time I saw him at Disney. And him retiring last year, it kind of like my favorite driver is up for conversation. Like if I had to pick some people, I would probably either pick Byron, maybe Bowman, maybe Blaney. People like him, like people like them, maybe even what's it called? Wallace. I like they're all good, like chilled people that are enjoyable to like, you know, follow. So I'm like in between a couple of drivers right now. So it might take a little while for me to move on to one certain driver, but yeah, Jimmy Johnson was my favorite driver up until he retired. So
I gotcha. All right, one last question. You're heading to Auto Club this weekend. You won it last year. You're coming off a win at Vegas last week. How do you expect to carry the momentum from last weekend to this weekend, and also being the previous winner? How confident are you moving into Auto Club, and who do you think your biggest competition is going to be?
I feel decently confident. It's about being consistent around the track. The tires fall off a decent amount and the car gets really, really loose. So it's going to be about controlling the car and making sure you don't dump it. So that's going to be the main issue. I feel like the competition this week is going to vary. There's people that are good in practice and then fall off during the race, and there's people that don't ever practice and are really fast in the race. I feel like the main competition is going to be people like Sebi, Michael, Tim, Ben, Jarrett. They were all fast in practice or fast last year. So it depends on those people and if they get through traffic or if they get wrecked. So it's going to be a very close race, I would feel. It's just going to depend on, like I said, wrecks, pit strategy, stuff like that. So I'm not sure. I think we can get it done though. It's just, yeah.
All right. Well, of course, good luck to you and to everybody at Team Drew. You have 2 drivers racing here tonight as well. There was rumors that Jarrett might be coming down, your driver in the Cup Series, to race down here as well. Not sure if that's going to end up happening, but as far as your 2 Xfinity guys, who do you got winning tonight, Paul Jackson or Joni Johanan?
Those are my guys.
I thought that was your guys. Oh no!
That's Thunderbolt.
Okay.
I think Logan Bear has a very good shot to win, though.
Okay.
He was fast last week at Las Vegas when I raced. We both got into unfortunate situations. He got wrecked, but we were both decently fast, so I think he could get it done tonight.
Definitely, I'm going to be watching out for him. I got to block him for the win tonight. But I kind of got mixed up with Drew and not Drew, but Paul.
Well, yeah, they're both my part-time drivers for Cup, but
yeah,
they're both Thunderbolt for Xfinity.
About to say that alliance got me confused a little bit, but definitely all the way around. Thank you for joining us, man, on the podcast. Definitely good luck tomorrow whenever you go and hopefully try to notch Auto Club 2 years in a row. Good luck, man.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, bro.
All right. And now we have reached the checkered flag here on the Experts of Racing Sportscast here. Remember, go check out tomorrow live coverage. It says 9 Eastern. It may be before then. Me and him are talking about it. But live tomorrow on the Expert Racing Twitch channel. Going to be live coverage of the Turn Down for What Racing League at WWT Raceway, a.k.a. Gateway. It's going to be a fun one with those guys there tomorrow. I believe it's just their second race of the season, so you definitely do not want to miss it as they are very early into the season. Also, looking forward to the guy that's usually here in the booth with us joined us a little bit earlier today, Volksfan88. Still going to be shouting him out as he has become officially the new commentator for the No Name Racing League iRacing series, going to be coming very, very soon. Be sure to go check out, you see it right there in the NNR logo. Go to nnrleague.com to check out everything, especially if you want to sign up and so forth. And also moving on here, join us actually this Sunday for the Super Bowl watch party. I believe it's going to be starting around 6 o'clock. I think kickoff 6:30. But join us, of course, then. And then, of course, join us weekly here, Fridays, 5:30 p.m. Eastern, here live on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. And to catch replays of all of the Experts of Racing content, be sure to go follow us there on YouTube at the Experts of Racing. But for everybody here, Vols fan, Robert Harding, Hokie fan Hoffman, and, of course, the 2020 OMA champion, Drew Jua, we want to thank you for joining us here on this episode, and we will see you next time. Thank you for joining.